The why photography precedes the how in entirety. Because I'd rather focus on why that image was made, why that visual was made, why that this small scene is the way it is, and then kind of figure out how to do it.
The following is a conversation with Kyle Mopas. Kyle is a photographer, a mixed media artist, and the co-founder of Zinth. Zinth is a media production company aimed to bring small businesses and aspiring artists to the next level with unique and engaging content. With that said, I hope you enjoy the Joe Pedrosa podcast with Kyle Mopas. What up, fools? This is the Joe Pedrosa podcast. Today, I'm interviewing Kyle Mopas.
That's good. Do I look at the camera?
You can look at the camera, bro. You can look at me, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. So the way I met KJ Mops or Kyle Mopas?
Doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter. Just keep going.
The way I met Kyle is essentially we were in a church group together.
Yes.
You were choreographing.
Yes.
I was a dancer. I was following you. Yes. So I wanted to ask you, just to start off the conversation, we met at CFC. So what is your relation to CFC still?
A relation to CFC, I think I see it on Instagram. I see other people still pushing camps and all that kind of stuff, and I rate that because I feel like YFC gave me a good starting point with the things that I wanted to pursue. So with dance, we both met through that RYC event or competition.
Yeah.
And then from that kind of propelled me into a lot of competitions outside of YFC and just it made me push towards that creative pursuit more.
Did your creative pursuit start at RYC or was it prior to that?
I think it was prior to that. I had my neighbors teaching me how to jerk.
Yeah.
You know the Filipinos.
Teach you how to Dougie, bro?
Dougie, sea walk, you know the infamous the shoe swipe and all. Just the feet, no knees, just feet.
I haven't seen that one.
But there's a lot of videos out there like that. But I got introduced through that, and then ABDC came out, and I just watched that
ABDC
with my neighbors as well. So they're a big influence on the way I started dance.
Who was your favorite crew in ABDC?
It's definitely the Jabberwockies. They're actually just goated.
Okay, if you were to rank the 5, Jabberwockies,
bro, I just remember
Super Crew, Boreonics, Quest Crew, and We Are Heroes, the 5.
Okay, if you remember, I don't remember that much. I know Jabberwockies was sick. I remember Quest Crew. That was amazing. So probably those were the top 2.
Did you like Boreonics?
Not that much. Not that much. It was kind of a 4 there. And then whatever crew Chachi was a part of, that's third.
IMA?
Yeah. I don't even know if that's the same season. Is that the same season?
That's season 6. No, these are all different seasons entirely. It's the winners of each season.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't even know where I was going, but I just know that Boreonics and Jabberwockies and Quest Crew are top.
Yeah. So Kyle is probably you're probably one of the most creative people, probably the most creative person I know, bro.
Stop yassing. That's crazy.
But you do photography. From what I know, you do dancing, you do film photography. You're getting into mixed media right now, right?
Mixed media, and I'm trying to get into animation, 3D, still image making, if that makes sense. Yes.
What is the process of that, or what is that? What is the outcome of that?
Well, the outcome is the same as a regular picture. It's just you have more control in a 3D space of where the lights should be. It's just not physical. It's all done on the computer. So I can, or I'm going to try, no, I will one day be able to make, furnished spaces with either a model in there, incorporate that within my photography essentially.
Yeah. So is it all the images, is it AI generated to bring it in there?
It's not necessarily AI generated. There are probably ways to incorporate an AI into 3D as we all seen in the trends.
Yeah. What do you think about that trend? Because I know a lot of artists are not supporting the whole idea, because it's using their images and combining other people's images all together to create a new thing. But it's also it's your work and not being kind of credited for it. Or what are your thoughts on it?
Which one do you want me to answer first?
What are your thoughts on just AI generation?
Okay, so now we're switching it up. I think it's something that's definitely new, and like when anything new, it's not going to be highly regarded because it's it's so new. I said that 3 times. But I feel like we can spin AI in a way where it doesn't solely hurt the artist. We can use it as a tool
Yeah.
to create something new, but I feel like there's ways to incorporate it just as a tool, not to just like steal off of other artists' works, right? Because I think I was having a lot of conversations like this with other people in my program, like graduated program.
Yeah.
Because we're like, you know, we all want to be into like the creative field, and like that creativity has like a soul in it. And when AI's in there mixed into that, and all these works are being amalgamated, like the loss of soul is there. Like there's no heart in it. But I feel like you can also spin that in a way of whoever uses those tools is able to put a heart in it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that does. Yeah. Do you get frustrated? Like if like I don't know how the algorithm works to get other people's work, but like
I have no clue either.
but like if you saw like some like the AI using your photography, for example, like what how would you feel towards that? Like would you be frustrated?
I feel frustrated, but I don't know. Actually, that's a really good question. I don't really know how to feel exactly, just because it's so like new, and I feel like my work is like so far removed from like an AI's reach, because I feel like AI kind of hits a certain, kind of hits a certain style, and I don't think.
Is it like a super smooth face?
Super smooth face, yeah. Like, for example, like there's AI can be used in like tools for like plugins for Photoshop, plugins for Lightroom, and like that's fine. I feel like that's how it should be used. But in the context that we're talking of right now, it's used to make a finished work, and it kind of like disregards the process entirely, right?
Yeah.
And it pulls from different aspects, and that's the thing I don't like. But in a tool sense, yes, like I'm all for it, because to make things faster, that's key. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm. There's this kind of like idea by Naval Ravikant. His whole thing, like he says at a point, I hope in our lifetime, where basically everyone kind of has like their own monopoly. Everyone is like their own business, and we use AI and we use robots in order to kind of automate every other job, like cleaning or like fast food workers. Like I don't know, it's kind of scary in the sense
That's
of like
very scary, but that's some like
we might get
2077
replaced.
shit.
But at the same time, it would be like a utopian society where essentially everyone would be kind of like doing their own thing. Like we're all doing creative pursuits to just kind of evolve creatively, and then AI and robots, they take over everything else, like the mundane stuff, you know?
Yeah, but I also see like, I don't know why, but that there's gonna be a takeover somewhere. Like the AI is just gonna take us over. They're gonna stop doing mundane stuff. We're gonna be slaves. But
yeah, man. But so who knows, you know? But I want to dive into the questions I asked you. So essentially, what I'm doing with my podcast right now is I'm interviewing artists and entrepreneurs, and I asked them like 3 questions beforehand. And the first question. This is the answer you wrote. Discovery and a sense of exploring. I said, what is this phase of your life right now? And you wrote, discovery and a sense of exploring myself to different things, which in turn creates new interpretations to actions, behaviors, opportunities, connected in an inward and outward perspective. So what type of new stimuli are you exposing yourself to right now to help you become a better artist?
oh, definitely, not looking at Instagram or like the locals for inspiration. Like, oh, did I say that right? Okay, locals. Okay, wait. Say that one more time.
What type of new stimuli are you exposing yourself to help you become a better artist?
It's a lot of, I guess, researching different photographers, and not just photographers, but also like designers, directors, and how they kind of work.
Okay.
For example, I quote this guy a lot because this guy kind of changed my thinking on photography. Nick Knight, he calls himself a generalist just due to the fact that like when he, because before he was like a Vogue photographer,
Yeah.
legendary fashion photographer, shot for like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and I think he was like the first person to like make me think that like, okay, you can take photos without like a lens, like in a lens based process now. Just because like technology has advanced to the point where cameras and lenses, anything like that, is so accessible. Like we have cameras on our phones. We have
Yeah.
cameras on our phones. And like before, back in the day, it made sense that photography. When you think of photography, it's just someone that has a camera, right? That has like a level of prestige because like back then cameras were not that accessible. Like if you look at a lot of the like older photographers, like they're just people that had privilege, I guess. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but privilege or the money to actually spend like that much money on the gear as well as film and all that kind of stuff. But now since it's so accessible, like we have softwares such as Blender, other 3D softwares, we're able to take and create an image in that sphere. And you can also go to like printing, like multimedia, like mixed media is really essential for me too because what's the word? It makes me push my process a bit more, right? So like before I'd like kind of, okay, so I have this idea, I'll take a photo of it. Okay, I have this photo, bring it into the literally 2 softwares, and I'm like, okay, here's the final product. That's it. I'm done with that idea. But now I can, or what I'm trying to strive a bit more to is, okay, I have this idea. What are the avenues that I can do to expand this? So like I have an idea, I'll take a photo, I'll put it in again to those 2 softwares I mainly use, Lightroom and Photoshop. Maybe I can put it into Blender, create a 3D render of it, or I can print it out, tear it up, rip it up into pieces, and see different ways of seeing my final and seeing what else I can do with it.
Okay.
I really straight off of that. Well, I don't even know the main question, but
No, that's super interesting. So when you think of like the final product, right? Like, do you have a goal in mind when you think about it, or is it just like it's weaving and it's forming as you do it?
it's definitely the second one. Before it was the first one because I really just, okay, I have this shot, I have this file on my hard drive, I'll just keep it there and I'll post it whenever. Instagram and social media is going to be a whole different topic, but like it would just live there, right? And now I have the means to like kind of push towards, okay, so I have this file, what can I do with it aside from just leave it there? I can, again, 3D render it, create something completely different based off of that one image, or I can like kind of create this mixed media outcome of either different images I source from magazines, Google, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's cool. So one thing I wanted to ask, so I made this video like a while back ago. It's called "Why Create Art." So you being like a creative person, why?
I find that funny.
Why? What was funny?
I don't know. I feel like there's everybody's creative in a sense.
You think so?
It's just, yeah.
Even like the blue collar workers, like
100%,
doing their thing.
100% blue collar workers are so creative.
What makes them creative?
Fuck, I don't know. But like everyone has a sense of creativity in them. They just gotta like
Express
get it out, express it, and get it out, right?
Yeah, I guess it's just harder for some people to do it than others. Like you're kind of like there's.
It's all circumstance. It's all circumstance. It's all, especially like where you are in the life,
Yeah. What do you think the importance of creativity plays a role within your life? Like, why do you express yourself?
Creativity, bro. I fucking forgot, man.
Like, why do you choose to be creative? Like, what is it? Like, what comes out of you when you do it?
I think it's definitely a sense of self-expression, but there's also a little bit more to that. Like, there's explanation in a creative piece, but there's also I really just want to push it just because I know that there's so many people out there that are like, I want to be in the creative field, and like they do either styling or hairdressing or something even left field is like, I don't even know anything left field at the top of my head, but I just want to do it because I know that there is something that I want to do it so I can prove to myself that there is a path like this for people that aren't, there's a path like this for people that just don't want to stay in the regular, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big reason for me to do it as well because, I don't know, I just kind of started life with these bigger questions and ambitions, kind of like just wondering, like, is this it? Like,
Yeah,
is this what life is? I'm like at McDonald's, like fucking scrubbing shit. I'm like, is this life? You know?
Yeah, but like you graduate or like, in my case, like, yeah, I graduated and I'm like, wow, fuck. Like, that's it. Like, I got my paper on the stage. I was like, yeah, well, let's go. And then as soon as I'm walking down that stage, I'm like, yo, fuck, what now? And I think that's one of the things that I kind of came to grips with the remainder of the year, because I was like, oh shit, I always thought of like my like photography stuff on the side, but it's so weird because like I used to go into like class and like lectures and like kind of multitask and like edit photos as well as take notes, as well as kind of listen and see what the prof is saying in terms of business ethics, as well as like all that kind of stuff, and I kind of take it all in because like at the time I was like, okay, I know I like doing this, so I know I don't want to stop. And now that school has stopped, I'm like, oh shit. Not saying that all I got is this, but at the time I was thinking a lot of, oh fuck, I need a fucking salary job. I need to get more money. I need to move out. And I'm like, I think mentally I was rushing myself to get to a place where I know I'm going to eventually be there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now I'm like a lot slower. I'm taking my time with things. I'd rather be a part of things that are just starting up rather than things that are already established and not really pushing towards anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Like, I think a big thing for me was like, there's this saying like, don't make your passion into your, like, don't do what you love for a living, essentially. People say that because then it becomes a job. But in my mind, I'm just like, if you do what you love for a living, then it won't feel like work. Like, it'll feel like play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you're always playing, and it's just like you're never actually going to be working. That was the next question I was actually going to ask you. So the second thing I said was, I forget the question. Oh yeah, what is the biggest struggle you're facing right now? I said balance and routine for sure. Definitely have a hard time assigning time to myself to work on various things, like work associated with personal projects I want to do, while still trying to find time for myself and family and friends. I feel like there's a lot of things I want to do, but I need a good balance to do such first. At least with the family and friends and the work, I don't know, like the work thing for me, there's this quote by Alan Watts. I know this is like fucking corny as shit, but like whatever, I don't give a fuck, you know? Alan Watts, bro.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Yeah.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I've seen like YouTube shorts, and I'm like scrolling down, and it's like him saying this quote, and then at the end it's like Alan Watts. I was like, okay, that's that guy. He's that guy.
He is that guy. He's like, make everything you do as play. Make work play so that nothing feels like work. So you're always working and playing at the same time. But your whole thing was balance. I don't know. What do you gravitate more towards? Like the balance aspect, or like thinking everything is play?
If I think everything is play, then I'm not going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate balance, and I still like need balance for a lot of projects, because I feel like I have a lot of these ideas, and then I reach out to like one of like my homies that I know that I can do it, but I forget to like, oh shit, I need to like execute on that, and then like 2 weeks pass later, and I'm like, oh shit. Because like I feel like I'm wrapped up with so many other things, and that's where I really need balance in, right? Like wrapped up in probably like literal work. Like I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
Zen stuff, personal stuff, etc. And yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree, like everything is play. So I wanted to talk to you about the different things that you're doing. So Zenth, describe it to the viewers what Zenth is exactly.
We are a creative. Let me. We are a creative collective aimed to help the local artists in the GTA gain a better audience through content creation. And more to come in 2023. That's all I really want to say. I'm excited for that shit, bro.
Yeah. So, like, what got you started with doing that? I know you and Alan, like, knew each other for quite a while.
Yeah, dog. Me and Alan go way back. I don't know, my voice wavered there. I need some water. But go way back. High school videography, not videography class, but like video class.
Yeah.
I remember he was like cracked. He was cracked at After Effects, and I was like I would come into school early and like I'd go to the video room. He'd show me what he'd be making. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, I know.
Because like as a photographer, I don't really, at the time I was like mainly just photography, and I was just like, how do you even like create motion graphics in After Effects and Premiere and all that kind of stuff, and all that stuff was still kind of new to me, but I still stuck to like photography in high school. DJ, been known him from like YFC.
Oh, was he part of YFC?
He's the person that
was
got
he dancing
me in.
as well?
Yes,
bro?
he was dancing. Yeah.
Were you like in our thing?
I don't think in our thing. I think he was doing like band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that'd be crazy if I met him beforehand.
Yeah, and then RJ, he's working on his own stuff at the moment, but he's just pushing for his stuff.
Yeah.
He was one of the founding members as well, but like I think I met him in high school as well. All these guys I met from high school, and like I think we all just work well together to create like content and produce things that we really want to create. I think we all started in 2020, like the beginning of the pandemic or something like that. And then we were like, because at the time DJ was like trying to pursue like a music artist, so he wanted a music video, obviously.
Yeah.
And me, Alan, Rajul kind of like got together. They did like the video work, I did the photo work, and then we were like, oh, why don't we just do this for like other people?
Yeah.
And that's how it all kind of like went down.
What artists have you worked with so far?
So far, we've worked with Tyler, T-Bell, these people that you may or may not know. Who else? Tyler, T-Bell, Nate, DJ, AJ. To name a few, I can't remember the top of my head at the moment.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, I'm gonna forget saying so many names for sure.
That's super cool. That's super interesting. There's not a lot of people, I think, our age that are pursuing a lot of like creative endeavors, like you guys. So it's like super interesting and super cool to see.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So you touched a little bit on Instagram and social media earlier.
Hate that shit. I'm joking. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Like,
I love it so much, but I also hate it. Like, it's a great way to connect and talk to people, and like like-minded people, to find that. But there's also like an inverse side where you're just trapped into the endless scrolling of like whatever the algorithm feeds you. Right? Like
yeah.
I can literally cold call Drake. I'm probably not gonna get no fucking answer, but like that's a direct line to him. Or just using it as a tool is great, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I get sucked into it sometimes, and it makes, I think in a creative sense, it makes comparison a lot more achievable. Comparison a lot more like apparent.
Yeah.
Towards oneself, right?
Yeah.
Because high key, I'd be on that app, and I'm like, I see things that I like, and I want to like kind of push to make, but then I look at, the numbers of followers, likes, and all that kind of stuff that in reality that don't really matter. It only matters in like in a business sense, right?
Yeah.
'Cause in essence, what I'd want to do now is I'd rather create work that's in a physical format. So I'd rather want to push more like galleries, more art shows, more exhibitions, all that kind of stuff, where my work is up in a physical context rather than a digital. Because I think I started photography I literally went to photography class because I was like, oh, I want to take cool Instagram pictures. That's it, bro.
Really?
Literally, I was
That's
like, yo,
that was the origin story.
That's the origin story, fam. I was like, yo, I just want to take cool pictures, bro. And then, like, I'm gonna start cascading, but I started rooftopping with the homies.
Yeah.
Got caught. I'm gonna just do.
You got caught?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the speed run. Okay, so
go.
rooftopping with the homies from Meadowville. We did Square One, Marilyn Monroe. Oh God, am I supposed to say this? I don't care.
Bro, it's years,
Marilyn
bro. It's been years, bro.
Some buildings near the Gardner.
Hearn? Have you ever done Hearn?
Hearn? No.
It's like a big factory.
Oh, is it by the water?
Yeah, there's Hearn and
I
Mopas.
have
There's
a few
two.
homies that did that. Literally just the places, the cranes.
Wait, you got caught?
Oh yeah, I got caught one
From
time.
who? Like a security guard or a
It
cop?
was a security guard. It was a
Oh, that's
security
not
guard.
that bad.
I know it's not that bad, but like it was funny. Like on God, the way we got caught was like we were trying to like get to the roof still. We were on the balcony and then we'd hear footsteps and I was like, oh fuck, guys, get in that corner. So it was just 3 guys, literally just huddled up in a corner. The security guard sees us, he's like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, really?
And then we got escorted all the way down to the main floor. We got like banned for like life from
Banned for life. And like the Monroe Towers, bro.
Not Monroe, but like it was it was the building near the Gardiner.
Ice?
Not Ice. It was one of those. We passed it today, but it's just funny. It's just a funny story because after that I got into portraits and I was like,
Yo, maybe I don't need to do illegal shit.
yeah, maybe I don't need to do illegal shit to do photos. So I got into portraiture.
Yeah.
And I did a bunch of photo walks to kind of get started to get the hang of things. And then what else is after that? That's really it. And then I got into film. And then now I'm realizing that the process of film is still like sick. I still love doing it. But if my work is still being seen all digitally, oh damn, that pass is good. But
Boss is getting you good, bro.
pass is hitting, bro. If my work is still being all consumed digitally, I'd rather just save my film for to get it printed in a physical format. Yeah. It all started from I want Instagram clout or
Instagram
all that kind
clout.
of stuff. But it's so much more now. It's so much more now.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of like that in a sense. I wanted to do short films initially and then play them at theaters, film festivals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my mindset that changed that. Maybe I'm more of a capitalistic pig, so I'm trying to go towards more what can get me the most amount of money that's creative. And for me, it's the internet. So I completely agree. Social media is shit. I delete Instagram, and then I delete Instagram, and then I reinstall it just to post, and then I delete it again.
That's smart. I used to do that, and it's just stuck on my phone now. So,
No, but then you get sucked in. That's the worst part.
and you compare yourself to other creatives that
Yeah.
are either the same age or either doing better than you, but at the same time, there's so many people that are doing their own creative endeavors, and you can't really compare because everyone's journey is completely different, right? It's either you're a nepotism baby or you're not. Really, I'm I'm joking.
I also think this is also not not just creatives. I think this is people in general. This is why I deleted Instagram because I'm I don't know, this weird comparison thing is everyone's posting about their shit.
No, yeah,
whatever. But it's person A posts this, so then person B tries to outdo person A, but then person C sees person B doing this, and then it's all kind of a game where this my life is sick, and it's kind of they're posting it
just
for other people to see it versus you actually experiencing the thing on its own.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That. High key, beep. Oh, there's a beep. Oh, that was that beep.
There's a
You
beep.
talking about that?
There's a
You talking
beep,
about that beep? Yeah. Oh, damn it! That threw me off.
That's what I said, bro. I said it's gonna throw you off 30 minutes in. But there is a huge comparison thing. And
Yes,
it's terrible.
it's terrible. It's
I
so
literally
bad.
deleted Instagram because I was just we're all kind of the beep went off again. But we're all kind of posting to, I don't know, kind of flex on each other really. And versus, I don't know, just
I want to live like how my parents lived. You know what I mean? Where they just experience the thing for itself, and like you're just here. Like I think it just takes you away from everything.
Yes,
doing all of it.
I see that. Like I try to stay away from my phone as much as I can, especially when I'm on trips.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing is, like my mom like gets cheesed at me when you're like, "Yo, Kyle, why aren't you taking a lot of photos?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm taking photos, but I'm like I'm trying to take the photos that I want to take and not kind of like the touristy shots."
Yeah.
Because there's enough touristy shots to go around.
Yeah.
I'd rather take photos of what I really want to take photos of, even if it's not appealing to the main consumer or whatever like that. But yeah, I see that comparison thing. Yeah, honestly, bro, I don't care if you like post pictures of your food all the time.
Yeah, right?
I don't care if you post pictures of your like
It's like everyone has like a mini vlog now like, on Instagram.
But
bro.
that's the thing, like there's definitely some books on that shit.
Yeah.
I remember I read some, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. And it's come to like, I know this. It's, I think with social media nowadays, and especially with the comparison, it creates a sense of identity. There was a phrase for it. Profilicity.
Okay.
Profilicity. It's like a profile. You kind of like based your identity on your social media account. I kind of have a bit of that. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of base like my credibility as a photographer on my Instagram account because, you know, I've had that thought where it's like, yo, if I delete my Instagram account, like, what else? What else am I? You know, like, well, what, you know, skills do I have? Or like what I'm sharing is fully me. And then if I stop, will what I be doing at this very moment stay the same as, you know, if that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like the profilicity thing is like kind of core to that comparison. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a way for you to like build a brand. And it's a way for you to monetize your work eventually, which is like you're
using it as a tool.
Yeah, you're using it as a tool. But I think just like I don't know, maybe I'm like being rude, but like the average person, if I wasn't like an average person like not creating content, I would not be on social media because it's like so like everything else that comes with it is not worth the struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that for a long time. I deleted social media. I try to like cut all my bad habits out. Like I stopped playing video games, stopped doing fast food.
Okay, fast
stopped
food.
doing
I'm
drugs.
Video games. I just play Osu, honestly.
Osu?
But I can stop whenever, yo. I swear to God, I can stop whenever. Like, you know, if I'm like, oh man.
Is that a joke? I'll stop forever, or is that your?
No, it's not. It's not like I can actually stop. Like, if let's say I'm playing a map and I'm like, okay, I can get off. Cause it's just me, you know. Like I'm not playing with anyone else. Like I'm just like listening to music. I'm just tapping away. And if like at the time I'm like, okay, I'm doing shit. Fuck this game. Like I'll just go back to like doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah. What is your? Maybe it's different for me because like I just do a different format. Like I do filmmaking involves like script writing, filming, and editing. Right. My creative process is essentially the writing aspect's big for me. What I have to do is like I have to sit alone in my room. This is like also like this goes on to like cutting everything off. Like I don't want to distract myself with like the video games, the fast food, blah blah blah. Don't want to distract myself with that. What my creative process is I sit down in a room by myself and then I just think and I'm just like, damn. Okay, I hate sitting alone in my room. Like I hate this. Oh, I also hate this. Wait, well, why do I hate this? And then I go on from that. Yeah, I go deeper and deeper and deeper. But I don't know, like your creative process. Like, what is your creative process like?
Dude, I'm joking. Nah, I just watch a lot of like videos or look at a lot of images. Well, since I'm like a really like visual person, I kind of just gain inspiration off of that, and then I ask, you know, why? Right?
Why?
Because I don't know. Recently, I've been thinking about this phrase a lot. Like, I am a part of this Gallery 44 mentorship where this mentor from I don't even know if I'm saying the right things, but I have a mentor and he was telling me like, okay, so how photography, the why photography precedes the how in entirety. Because I'd rather focus on why that image was made, why that visual was made, why that this small scene is the way it is, and then kind of figure out how to do it and then execute in that way. But then I'd also have to, from that point, I'd also have to like create treatments, create pitch decks to convey my idea to the people I want to do it with. I've been doing that for like a little bit, but not to the degree of like something really visually pleasing. I've been doing like Google Docs and just like typing out like, yo, this is going to be this is equipment, blah, blah, blah. But I got to switch it up in terms of like into something visually like better. Mm-hmm. So that's my process. So it's asking the question why to treatments, to execution, to the finished product. And once I'm at the finished product, do I say like, okay, am I done with this? What else can I add on? An example is I did a shoot here in this very room, and I was shooting a few of my friends. Francesca, she was the model. My friend Lema was the stylist. Sarah was doing makeup. And I regard that as like kind of practice for, editorial or whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I have the finished file there. Let it sit for like a year because I did that in 2021.
Really?
And I was like, wow. Like, okay, so what else can I do? And then I started seeing a lot of multimedia work from people in Vancouver. Don't know how to pronounce the person's name, so I'm not going to say it.
Is he on TikTok?
He was like mixed media animation workshop.
Is it like a bunch of eyes and shit?
Yeah, it's a bunch of eyes.
I think I remember. I've seen it before.
Sick. I was like, wow, I want to try doing that. And I'm like, this guy's a printer. I don't got no printer. I'm gonna get that printer. This guy has a cutting board. I got a cutting board. He got an X-Acto knife. I'm gonna get an X-Acto knife. And then kind of gain inspiration off of that because it's something different and something that I want to try and pursue and try my hand at, literally, because it's a physical thing.
Yeah.
So I printed out the shots, messed around with it, cut them up, created something different from the original, and then seeing what else. I think from there, I feel like that's a finished product.
That's super dope. Do you have the physical now?
Well, do you want me to run upstairs and get it?
That'd be dope as fuck. Can we see it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it's just something different, right? But also, like, going up those stairs made me realize, like, yo, content is just, like, its first step.
The first step.
Oh, shit. Here you go. Look through it all. Just be careful with that big Polaroid. You can just put this on here.
Oh, I was just like, is this it? Like, how do you do something, like, with the fucking thing here?
But yeah, just Polaroids from when I went on a trip, as well as some drawings on the said Polaroid.
This is super dope, man.
Thank you, man.
KJM. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Toronto. What's this right here?
Oh, that one, that was a blank.
Oh, okay.
I have to make something out of that, because I think the Polaroid went off in my luggage. So I was like, shit. And it's stuck there. So I had to pull it out. Like, damn, I wasted a shot. So I'm like, okay, I can probably just do whatever on that, see what else I can do.
This is super cool. This one right here.
Yeah, thanks, dog. Literally, that was from one of the shoots I did. I just cut the circle out, and I realized there's two parts of the circle in the middle. So I just taped it side to side, create a yin-yang effect.
A yin-yang. That's super dope, man. This is super cool. I want to. Can we scan these or?
Yeah. I have some scans of those. Not those ones, but I have some scans of those.
I want to scan these and then put them in the podcast. So they could visually see it. Mm-hmm. That's super dope, man. We have about 20 minutes left on the podcast, so I wanted to go into this one conversation and then ask you this other thing. It's like I ask all my guests this in the last 10 minutes, but before we do that, the biggest lesson you learn, someone's deep on God. I wanted to ask you, actually, before I ask you this, what is your relationship with God right now?
He's there.
He's there?
It's there.
It's there?
Yes. It's a higher power, but, I'm just, I don't know.
How do you, this is the video I just posted today. How did you find God?
My parents.
Oh, is it?
Simulation.
Yeah.
I was kind of just born into all that.
Yeah.
I didn't really get a choice to be a Catholic. And well, it's like I'm not cheesed to be a Catholic or anything like that, but it's what I grew up with, and it's like one of the only religions I really know. I went to a Catholic school, went to a Catholic secondary school, and it's something that wasn't chosen out of my free will, essentially. So
Yeah.
like it's just now it's just there,
Now it's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Like my whole thing was I did the same thing. Like I was born into it, and then
It's because you're Filipino, so we're both
yeah, because we're both Filipino. That's it.
Spaniards, colonization. Spaniards are very religious. Religion goes to Filipinos, generations passed down.
Yeah, I think for me it was just like I was just a rebellious teen. So then like anything I was told to do, I just rejected it. So that was like a big thing for me. Just I don't know, rejecting religion and God. I've like recently found God again, but like just without religion, but
On your onesie.
on my ones. But if you want to watch that video, that's the previous video. But anyways, yeah, I was just curious about that. But the third one, this one's deep on God. You are always learning from experiences, interactions, those who you converse with, conversations with self, places you put yourself in, social situations, people you look up to, media you consume. So, what would be kind of the biggest lesson you've learned about like you're always learning? What's the biggest lesson you learn? If not your whole life, what's one you learned recently?
Oh my god, that's such a big ass question. Oh fuck!
I like to ask the deep hitting questions.
Shit. What's the most recent thing I learned?
Or the biggest thing you've learned your entire life?
Take your time.
Take your time,
man. I don't know. I feel like for this past year, I was like rushing myself to like get to where everybody else is. But again, like everyone else goes into their own flow, their own state, their own path. And, maybe you're not a part of that in a social aspect. Maybe you're not a part of that. Maybe you're part of like different diverging paths.
Yeah.
People come and go.
The biggest lesson you learned. But so you say you want to like get on the same level as other people, but what do you think that comes from a lack of anything?
I think that comes from a lack of. Oh fuck! Maybe that shit.
Because like that would be it. Like it would be like comparison. You're comparing yourself to somebody, or like just an overall population of people our age. But like, what do you think you're lacking? Because like I think you're doing quite well, like creatively.
Thank you very much. I need that. I think that's what I need. I need support because I don't know. Yeah, I need support. That's it.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I need support, and I need to be reminded that I'm doing good, and to not compare myself to other people. And that's one of the biggest lessons I learned. Even though I keep saying that, that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned this year. Just because, I don't know. I graduated. I know some of my peers that are working at like some next places. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Shit. But at the same time, again, to not compare myself, to focus on my path and what I actually want to do, because what they want to do is different than what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Their skills are different than my skills. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just want different things as well. Like you even said yourself, you want to work for startups or like work for yourself, and work for yourself is like it's very difficult.
It's fucking difficult.
Yeah,
I don't even know, man. What am I doing out here, man?
So we're all trying to figure it out.
Exactly, and okay, that's another thing too. Like no one really has it figured out because I think I came to after every single graduation or every single like big milestone, I expected to like, okay, I should have it figured out by 21, 20. Should have it figured out by 19. I should have this by like this age, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's those parental expectations that were burned into me.
Yeah.
Love my parents. Love them so much.
Yeah, but it's just like traditional Filipino.
It's just traditional Filipino stuff. And it's like they value stability over risk.
Yeah.
And that's 100% fine. But I'm in a place where I can take that risk and see where I can go with it. Because, I think when they came here, it's 100%. They're trying to find stability. They're trying to create a good foundation to, start a family here, right?
Yeah.
All they want to do is stability and work hard. Like a bunch of immigrants, every single immigrant parent I know has probably worked an insane amount to provide for their children. That's something I love. That's something that, I want to be able to do for my kids one day. But I want to do it in a way where it's my own way. I think it's also the individualism that Western culture has. But yeah.
Yeah. It's because what I think it is they came from such a hard environment of the Philippines, and they'll do anything for a better life. And now that we're out here in the West, they're just hey, we have this. Let's not fuck it up. Let's create the most safe, secure path as possible.
I know, yeah.
But then we're just well, we have the privilege. We have the privilege of being in a first world country, and then we have the privilege to kind of do what we want. But with our parents' expectations saying, no, you should do this. I was told by my parents that they become a doctor, and I'm bro, I
That's
failed biology.
Big Filipino things, fam. Yo, be a nurse, dog. Yo, fam, I failed chem, dog. What are you saying?
You're a breakdancing nurse, Kyle.
Yo, chill. But yeah, if I can add on a few more things to creative sense. Actually, no. What was the main question again? I'll say that afterwards.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Just want to add on more to the creative process and transferable skills, but they can be a after.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask, in relation to that. So your parents' expectation, the safest route is doctor. Be a doctor.
Not necessarily doctor.
Or just be safe. Get a secure job.
Mm.
What would success look like to you?
At first, I thought it'd be happiness, but now that I know that happiness is a fleeting state, and it can come and go at any time, just due to the fact that life can be up and down.
Yeah. Right.
And I'd say, again, what was the question again?
What would success look like to you? What you look at yourself, you don't have that comparison anymore, and just this is it. I'm proud of who I am right now.
The ability to say that I either helped someone start a creative endeavor or help someone pursue it a bit more with what I do. I'm really big on the fact that you could be doing the same shit I am in a creative sense, and it's something that you're able to monetize on. I still don't know how to do that too much, and I'm completely transparent with that fact, but just because I don't know how to do it now doesn't mean I'm not going to figure it out later on.
Yeah.
Especially with the circles that I'm in, I'm going to find a way to do that, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the best way to monetize photography, it could be through services, or it could be through the media itself, creating videos and TikToks or podcasts even about photography and just talking about your whole creative process. I think the internet just opened a whole new kind of business model. It's called, I was talking to you about this earlier, it's called the one person business model. I've been researching it fucking crazy. Essentially,
just fly me those notes, man.
You can create an income based off of who you are. You don't even have to be a creative individual doing a creative service, but talking about whatever you're passionate and whatever you're curious about can be a business on its own. You are the business, and I think that would be a way to help other people become creative. But Zinth is a great way to do it as well.
Thank you.
That's literally we're helping other creators or people who want to be creative do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you wanted to mention something earlier about your creative process. What was that before we wrap up?
Oh, it was transferability, because I think, as Joe mentioned in the beginning, I'm also a dancer as well. I think I'm trained in a few styles in hip hop, locking, house,
mm-hmm.
and I think when I where I was trying to go with this, but like, what was I trying to say, man? Off of that quote in the car when I was saying, generality breeds range and specificity breeds precision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be super general and super, what's the word?
Was it the one with the P?
What?
Start with a P?
What do you mean?
The quote you were saying.
wait. Man, I really wanted to say this too. Transferable skills in any creative endeavor that you want to do. Because, like, I think, you know, I kind of see photography in different styles now. And photography, or just visuals in general, is in different styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in comparison to dance, I'll see dance in, you know, a house setting, a hip hop setting, the styles that I know as well as the names, and like using that to create something new with the knowledge that I already have.
Okay.
And then if I switch that stuff over to, you know, photography or anything visual, what I can do, or what I'm going to try to do now, is go back to, like, you know, image making, but not solely image making with a lens based, like, camera, right?
Yeah.
So image making with 3D work, image making with collage, mixed media, stop motion work, and kind of like pushing it in that sense. You see where those two kind of meet, or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a horrible explanation, but
no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's cool. That's super interesting. Going back to the third question we talked about earlier, so one of the things you learn from is the conversations with yourself when it's 3 a.m. and then you're like staring at the ceiling, you can't sleep, and you're talking to yourself. What conversations are you having with yourself? Like, what's the lesson you learned from just being with yourself?
This was like literally yesterday. I was like,
you were up, like, staring at the ceiling, bro.
I was asking myself, like, yo, you up?
Yeah.
But just different ways that I can push things that I'm a part of. So, you know, I've had this thought for a while to keep going back to the animation, the 3D stuff, 3D workspace, the multimedia stuff. I'm really trying to push that next year, even right now.
Yeah.
Things that I can push with Zenth, how I can rebrand, how I can create a different identity for the new year, how can I create, like, something different and something that can be better translated.
Okay. What is this new identity, this new Kyle, KJ Mops? What does that person look like? This 2023 2023 Kyle, what does he look like?
That's such a good question. Well, if I look in the mirror in 2023, I want to see someone that, I was going to say has his shit together, but no one has their shit together.
It's hard. It's possible, but it's hard.
Someone that is able to reach their creative goals. Yeah, honestly, just someone. I want to look in the mirror and I say, I reached my creative goal for this year. What else can I do?
Yeah.
That's always, I think I kind of base a lot of my things on, like, the 5 W's, but more so on the what, why, and how. The how is very technical work. Okay, so like lighting, split lighting, Rembrandt, top down.
Mm-hmm.
What angles am I going to shoot at? What ISO, blah, 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 blah. The why is a lot more intention based. What am I trying to get across from it? And then the what is obviously, what am I going to be doing?
Okay.
I don't even know if I answered that question. I just kind of went off a tangent again.
No, it makes sense though.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes left on the podcast, maybe like more like 4. This is the last question I ask all the people I interview, because this is the thing I'm most curious about. Do you think, like, what do you think the meaning of life is? Or in, like, you can answer in a way where it's like, you know, like the whole universe, or you can answer like your own personal meaning. But what do you think the meaning of life is? KJ Mops.
Give me 1 second. There's no fucking water. Shit, man. I thought it was success and happiness and joy and all that good stuff. But it's solely, for me, it's solely just pure experience, right?
Yeah.
Um, one of the main things that I was like talking to with one of my friends is we can feel a state of immense happiness, immense joy, immense positive feelings, but we can also inversely um, experience sadness, despair, negative feelings. And I think the up and down of that is the meaning of life. Because, like, yeah, I don't know. I think I like that dichotomy. The dichotomy, the contrast is key to life because you never know what's going to happen the next day.
And I think both ends of the spectrum create good art, because like if you're like in a hedonistic life where like everything is handed to you and there's no negative things from it, like what are you going to make art about?
Exactly.
There's like nothing else. Like you need both. Like
Yes.
Obviously a life full of despair is going to be
Fucking
shitty.
sucks ass, bro.
But it also creates good art,
It does. And then vice versa.
Yeah, like both ends of the spectrum, it's super important. But yeah, that whole thing that you were saying with happiness, you were saying it earlier. There's this thing called the hedonic treadmill. Essentially, what happens is like we have a baseline level of happiness, and no matter what positive or negative thing happens in our lives, we return to it. So, a better thing to change, like, so if you're not going to be happy permanently, but you're also not going to be sad permanently because like our psychology is adaptive in a way where like we return to a baseline. So, a better thing to chase for is meaning, and that's the whole purpose to my YouTube channel, my podcast, to find meaning because that's where truth lies. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else to say in the last 30 seconds, Kyle?
Last 30 seconds. Whoever's watching this, thank you very much. Hope you guys have like a great next year. I don't even know when people are going to see this, bro.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now? Okay, so the next year, have a great next year. Push to be the best self you can.
All right. Thanks for watching today's video. Stay on average, fools.